When you live in the red, that means you do what you do at full throttle. Wide open, 100% Texas tough. That's Allen Americans Pro Hockey. Come and experience the fast action of Americans Championship Hockey this weekend.
The Americans host the Wichita Thunder Saturday at 7:05 and on Sunday at 2:05. For tickets, go to theallenamericans.com.
Allen Americans Pro Hockey. Live in the red.
Welcome to Around the ECHL. We do this every Wednesday. We check in with different spots around the league. Today we go to Estero, Florida. Good buddy and a great broadcaster. Has been doing this like myself for a long time. The voice of the Florida Everblades, Mike Kelly. Mike looking pretty sharp there in that suit. Days away from getting this going. How you feeling?
Oh, great. It was a fun summer and a shorter one than usual, which is great by broadcaster standards. We love to get behind the mic. So we can't wait to get it going for Saturday, October the 23rd is opening night, and it's right around the corner. And, it was a fun year last year for the Everblades. Looking for big things this year, though.
Florida is one of those teams every year that you can just count on. They're going to be somewhere, and you guys finished with the best record in the league last year. And as we found out, we finished right behind you. Finishing first and second doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to end up with a ring. You guys had a great season, ran into a buzzsaw there in South Carolina. Talk about the year as a whole as we experienced a crazy season with COVID.
Well, we ended up playing 69 of the 72 games. So all in all, it was pretty successful. Ended up playing all of the home games. And anytime you can do that, the sponsors and season ticket holders and fans are happy. So, we had more wins than losses and ended up the top of the heap, as you say, right at that last night of the regular season. We won the Brabham Cup, fourth time in team history that the team has achieved that, but ran into a tough team with South Carolina. They were primed for the postseason, went all the way to the final before falling to Fort Wayne, but it was a successful year, certainly last year. Some unfinished business, though, and looking to reach the top of the mountain this year.
Mike, how about the COVID protocols this year in Estero? Here in Allen, we're back to 100%. No masking, but if you want to wear a mask, you're more than welcome to. What are things looking like for opening night in your building?
Yeah, Hertz Arena has the recommended, not required masking policy. So things opened up actually towards the end of last year, and Florida's kind of been like the Wild West. So we're trying to be the leaders in that regard, trying to get it back to normal. And we think that we've got over the bridge. So we're back to 100% capacity here at Hertz Arena and looking for a big support this year from the fans and really try to get it back to normal again, just like the old days.
It was a crazy off season. I know a lot of teams, and the more people I talk to, I keep hearing the same thing. A lot of players leaving and going to Europe. I know personally in Allen, we lost a bunch, over 10 that went to Europe this off season. We know why. Their opportunity to make money there. But, how about, Coach Ralph and his signings there in Florida? What are you guys looking like this year?
Well, much like Allen, certainly we did lose some key pieces to Europe this year as well. But Coach Ralph, along with our president, Craig Brush, ECHL Hall of Famer, and assistant coach Jesse Calicky, they've done a tremendous job recruiting again this year. We have 10 returning guys and then some key pieces, guys that have American Hockey League experience, some new younger players that we're looking for big things from them as well. And a couple of returning guys that used to play with the Everblades and returned. And one is a veteran, Nathan Perkovich, we just re-signed. And the other is Alex Aliardi, and he was playing overseas the last several years. So we're interested to see how they fare this year, coming back to the ECHL and back in a Blades uniform. And we open the doors with open arms to see those guys back.
It's funny, Mike, here in Allen, people were really worried. They kept seeing all these players signing over in Europe, and then all of a sudden in the last month, Chad Costello resigned here in Allen, and then his good buddy, the guy we like to call Jumbo Jack, one half of the dynamic duo, Jack Combs, returned. So all of a sudden, all is right with the world again.
Yeah, and that's going to make Allen certainly one of the contenders right off the bat when you bring those two guys back. You know, it seems like, you know, they haven't missed a beat. You look at their numbers over the last several years, and it's impressive. The Allen Americans will be definitely making some noise this year.
What was off season like for you? I know we talked a bit in Vegas at the league meetings, but do you think fans are coming back in full force? I know, you know, personally here in Allen, we're setting all kinds of records for season ticket holders and new season ticket holders. You know, credit to our VP of tickets, Johnny, and his staff. But what are things looking like with you?
Congratulations to the Allen Americans. You guys first class on and off the ice. And we're actually feeling the same over here. We have more than 400 new season ticket holders and a real good solid base from the previous years as well. And I think in general, fans are just excited to come back again and get their lives back to normal. And so we're benefiting from that. You know, last summer, the building was closed for a couple months. So things were tough there for a while, certainly, but we're back to 100% and just feeling like we're going to have a big opening night. Thousands of tickets have been sold already, and the corporate support has been real strong this summer as well. So we're benefiting now, and we're very grateful as well, and can't wait to get this season started.
You know, my sister lived pretty much in Naples, pretty close to the arena. So she knew the Everblades. She used to go to a lot of games. As a matter of fact, I think one year they actually bought a ticket plan. What in Naples you call Fort Myers, Estero? That's such a great area. So many snowbirds from Canada that come down, you know, during the winter. But tell it for our fans, because they always ask, hey, what's a great road spot to go visit? Why would you recommend American fans, and hopefully, if you're listening, Joe Babick, Dan Petrino, I want to trip back to see my buddy Mike Kelly there. What's a great reason to plan your trip around Estero, Florida, in the Hertz Arena?
Well, there's a lot to offer in this area. We are fortunate, you know, 1,000 people a day are moving to the state of Florida, and so we are benefiting in that regard. But you know, you have the beaches, the bars. There's a lot of things to do. The entertainment sector as well, and certainly the Everblades. We see ourselves as a piece of that entertainment puzzle. So you know, we're part of the nightlife enjoyment here as well, but great family entertainment. So we kind of bring it on a couple different angles, and we've been fortunate. We've had winning teams over the years, so that always helps. And you know, we look to get over the hump here this year and reach the top of the ECHL mountain.
Well, you guys always do have a great team, Mike, and your first class too. I really enjoyed getting to hang out with you in Vegas and our fellow broadcasters. That was a neat experience and what was a very, very crazy year. Best of luck to you guys this year. I know you will have a great team, and hopefully we'll see you down the road.
That would be great, Tommy. We'll keep a seat for you here in the Kelly Cup Finals. How does that sound?
Maybe my Sabres will keep winning. I know we talked about that as we record this interview with Mike. They're 2-0. Hard to believe. This is Around the ECHL. Mike Kelly, the voice of the Florida Everblades, back with the Western Conference View coming up next.
The Allen Americans are North Texas's pro hockey team. 4 championships in the last 9 years. The Red is back on the ice at 100% capacity this season. Free parking, fast action, and great seats available now at AllenAmericans.com.
The Americans host the Wichita Thunder Saturday at 7:05 and on Sunday at 2:05. For tickets, go to theAllenAmericans.com.
Allen Americans Pro Hockey. Live in the red.
Back here on Around the ECHL, and as promised, we check into the Western Conference now. There's a whole new fan base about to be introduced to Iowa Heartlanders hockey. And the voice, the man who's going to tell us all about it, is David Fine. How are you?
Allegedly, I'm going to tell you all about it. No, Tommy, everything's great. Really excited here with us getting going. Cannot believe it's here. I've been here for 6 months. 6 months ago, I'd be lying to you if I ever thought that the day would come. So here we go.
That's awesome. The former voice of the Reading Royals, and now in his first season with Iowa, and a great man leading this ship here, the former commissioner of the ECHL. And, you know, I've known Brian for a long time. Talk about him as a boss. I know you bragged on how lucky you are to work not only for a startup franchise, which I did 13 years ago, but arguably one of the greatest bosses in hockey.
Yeah, his experience, his wealth of experience is all that stuff, but the type of character and person he is, Tommy, is what makes him who he is. Working for Brian has personally been the best boss I've ever had since I graduated college, and gotten into working in pro hockey in a full-time role. He has a calm demeanor. He lets you do your thing. Has hired the right people. We have a great staff here. We're 3 days as of recording this, 3 days before the season starts. And Tommy, I'm telling you, like, there's so much work going on, but because of the decisions he's made and sort of the agency he's given all of us to run our own departments and know that we'll be working together, that's made it, we're all confident that we're going to pull it off on Friday when we have our first home game. And furthermore, the way that he speaks and puts things is such that you believe in what he's saying just because of the type of person that he is, and his professionalism, the way he speaks, the way he words things, puts things, and understands the full scope of everything all in one is spectacular. Quick story about that, and then we'll move on, is so I was running a little bit late for a meeting. I was picking up some friends at the airport. They were coming in for a weekend. I had a half day. I wanted to hop on it. We had an all-staff call about, expectations in the last month leading up to opening night a few weeks ago. And I had 3 friends in the car with me I said, guys, I got to take this call. It's going to be on speaker in the car, over the Bluetooth. Like, just please be quiet. I'll mute myself, but be quiet. And they were listening in. And after the call ended, a 20, 30-minute call, they said, you have a really good boss. And that's just someone that has never even met him in person. And these were 3 random buddies from back home that were visiting for a weekend to enjoy an Iowa football game and nothing else. And they appreciated listening in to kind of what our organization's perspective is because of how Brian worded things. So that's just an example of maybe someone that doesn't understand how it goes.
16 great years, by the way, for Brian McKenna, and the longest tenured commissioner, at least, when he walked out of the office and said, I'm taking a break, before he finally wound up there in Iowa. How did you end up in Iowa, David Fine? Tell us about your journey from Reading to where you are now.
Yeah. And I enjoyed my 3 seasons, 3.5 years living in the city of positive change, Reading, Pennsylvania. Still have a lot of friends from there. When it came time it came time for the whatever the expression is, for the road to be taken or not taken, I'll say, sure. Just didn't work out with the Royals, and feel like it was pretty mutual. But as soon as we figured out that it was probably not going to happen, I called my good friend Chris Ballard, who's the voice of the Newfoundland Growlers. And I said, hey man, I'm in on Iowa. Like, I want to stay in the league. I don't want to sit at home anymore. Had enough of doing that during the pandemic. I need something different. I want a challenge. It's not ideal with how far it is from where I grew up, but I want to do it. Like, I'm excited about it. He said, okay, send me your stuff. Of course, Newfoundland owns the team here in Iowa. It's the same ownership with Dean McDonald, same ownership as Trois Rivières as well. Kind of similar to what Allen used to have going with Tulsa and Wichita back in the day before Jack bought the team there, of course, in Allen. But anyway, so 3-pronged ownership. Chris made a call on my behalf. A few weeks later, I was moving to Iowa, sent in my stuff, moved here. It's top notch here, man. The arena's unbelievably nice. The town is great. You're 2 miles from Kinnick Stadium where the Hawkeyes play. You're 10 minutes drive at most from downtown. It feels like you're in Iowa City. The town of Coralville is basically, I'm a half mile away from the Iowa City limit here. I mean, you're 5 stoplights down pretty much, and you don't hit all of them very often. So everything here is just top notch. And I'm really lucky. Like, this job could have gone to any of a number of very qualified candidates. I have experience in the league. I've done a few American League games here or there. I used to intern with the Syracuse Crunch. There's a lot of people that have done stuff like that. To end up in a brand new spot with the support the way that the city has supported us, this just doesn't happen anywhere. Like for opening night to help boost us, they're making calls to hundreds of people a day. Their entire staff, like our sales staff, they're serving kind of as they're calling who they know. They're calling their network to make sure that everyone knows about the Heartlanders. That just doesn't happen everywhere. So we can't wait for opening night.
I was just going to ask you about the buzz around town. I mean, with the TV stations, fans excited. As a matter of fact, a couple of former Allen American season ticket holders, a couple that was one of the first to buy season tickets, Dan and Vicky Zelaznik. You'll meet Dan, great guy. He is so pumped about Heartlanders hockey. Just give us the vibe around town.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because the logo above my ear here, for people that, I don't know if you published this on video or just audio, but there's video. Video. So there's a Hawkeye logo for those that might just be listening in while they're driving or whatever's going on, if they have it on Bluetooth. Hawkeye football logo, Hawkeye logo above my ear in the office, spray painted on the ceiling above me. And so the Hawkeyes had the number 2 football team in the country until this last weekend. So that's good for us. Like we know that they're the top show in town in the fall. And then obviously as the season goes along, crowds will get bigger, like what you guys would be dealing with on a Friday night in Allen. Sure. Trying to get same thing, same type of hype in terms of football. So the hype for us has really come about since the weather got about below 50 degrees every morning. The last few weeks is when people are like, oh, it's hockey season now. And now we're starting to see more people wearing Heartlanders in the community. We've had 6 months to put this all together from a business perspective. That's when Brian came on, was 6 months ago. I've been here 5.5 months, almost 6 months. But Brian moving here only happened 6 months ago. So much of the community work we've done has really happened in the last 3 months or 4 months. So there is a buzz, and we know that because of the support we have from the city and like the Visitors Bureau and Iowa City to want to make this work, that it's going to grow, because this is not like Allen. This is not a natural hockey market. There are the Rough Riders in the USHL 30 minutes up the road north. And there is the Des Moines Buccaneers, Waterloo Blackhawks, Dubuque Fighting Saints, and then the Iowa Wild are an hour and 40 to the west. But the average resident of Iowa City has probably never watched more than 2 minutes of a hockey game on TV. So we know it's going to be a process to build it up and grow and just get people in the building once. And we know they're going to want to come back because we're going to entertain the hell out of them.
Have you thought about how you're going to open up the mic for that first game? And I hate to do this to you, because you know what? People ask me the same thing. When you won the championship, did you have it planned? Of course not. I mean, it just, whatever comes to you at that point. But hey, that's a special moment. Have you thought about what you're going to say in that, the first opening sentence, I guess, if you will?
No, I have not. It's on TV, so they might tell me what I'm saying for the open. But we'll talk about what the open's going to look like here in the next few days. There's been some chatter back and forth production-wise, but I thought more about the first goal. I have nothing planned. The only thing I hope is that I really don't mess it up, because that's going to be on social media and on the internet forever. And I really hope I don't mess up the first goal. I hope it's an easy, clean 2-on-1 pass across, one-timer score, and it's just natural and easy, and there's no deflections, and I see the number and it's easy. So that's what I got for you. Is I have not planned anything out. I just hope, I'm more worried about the first goal. I want the first goal, and if hopefully the Heartlanders beat Kansas City on opening night, the final call, that there's just no crap involved. It's just easy, get it done, in and out, let the crowd speak for it, and we're done.
I'm disappointed that we don't go there this year. You guys will come here. I know our fans are excited about that. At the end of the season, still a long way down the road. Will you be nervous on Friday night? I mean, you've done this for a while at all different levels, but when you open that mic for the first time, will you be nervous?
No, I did the preseason game rinkside, sitting next to Bob Renison on Friday in a community rink where I couldn't see anything. I would be more nervous about the broadcast side if it wasn't for the fact that we just did the preseason game.
Yeah.
And I kind of got to look at some of their players, and sure, calling our players for the first time. I won't be nervous for the broadcast. I'm just worried about everything else. And for example, tonight, knowing that I really want to get a really good look at our prep for the game. That's more the stuff I'm worried about, is just like making sure the off-ice officials are good, the stats are good. We know we're going to have highlights after the game. We're traveling after the game to Kansas City. I would probably sleep 15 hours on Friday night if not for us getting on the bus and playing in Kansas City in a home and home for their home opener on Saturday. But no, that's fine. I just can't wait to get it going. Like, let's just get in a rhythm of a season. For me in particular, Tommy, you guys played last year. I was in Reading. We didn't play.
Yeah.
Half the entire staff was furloughed pretty much, except for 2 or 3 people. So like, we didn't play. And so it's been 19 months for me calling a regular season ECHL game, more than 500 days. I did one AHL game as a fill-in last year up in Syracuse for a regular. It was the home opener for the Syracuse Crunch against Utica, which is a great game. But I just want to get it going and get into a rhythm of the season. And then on Saturday, upon your suggestion, enjoy some Carrabba's in KC, which has been now confirmed as the pregame meal, and make sure everything's smooth. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. We thrive on this. We thrive, Tommy, as media guys. We thrive on the consistency and the rhythm of, okay, I know on a Monday I got to do this because we got a game on Wednesday, et cetera. We need that. I crave that. I need that kind of stable instability is the best way to put it in my life. So I cannot wait to get into like game 20. That'd be excellent. I'm ready for game 20.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of talk, David, about the new Seattle Kraken jerseys. Give us the buzz on your jerseys. Your thoughts? What are fans saying?
Well, I'm trying to remember almost what they look like off the top of my head, because I've only seen them in a game once, and that was 4 days ago. It was the first time anyone who has ever seen a Heartlanders jersey in a game on the ice, the white game jerseys, they're beautiful. I really like the white jerseys more than the dark jerseys because the numbers are black and they're outlined in sunrise yellow piping around, white jerseys. So they stand out on the shoulders, the arms, and they stand out on the backs. And then in terms of the actual logo, I love the black and the gray Buck logo, and couple shades of gray, 2-3 shades of gray, and then the black Buck on the front with the yellow, the sunrise yellow antlers. The black jerseys, I have not seen anyone wear except for the mascot like once or whatever it was, or someone put one on in the office for a few minutes. So TBD on the black jerseys. I love the white jerseys though. They're a top 5, in my opinion, a top 5 jersey in this league. Definitely a top 5 jersey in the conference, but I think they're as good as any jersey in the league in person, those white jerseys.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I promised you I wouldn't keep you long. I know you got a lot to do. Have you had any nightmares this week about waking up thinking, oh my God, I didn't do this. It's game day. It happens to all of us, right? I mean, I had one last night, for goodness sake.
Yeah. Mine are always travel related. They're never broadcast, because as you know, the worst thing that could happen is you show up to a hotel at 3 a.m. and something's wrong, or, there's not enough rooms or whatever the case is. And now you're scrambling, try to figure that out. I had a few of those in the last month. I've just been so darn tired every single night, because it's like a 8 a.m. to sort of 7:30 p.m. every single day here for about the last 2 weeks, that I'm kind of just trying to, take the step back a little bit. And just when I lay down in bed, like I'm in bed zone, I'm not in work zone. And then if I do wake up in the middle of the night and my mind even starts to go to that place, kind of just say, hey, it's 2:30 in the morning. Can't do anything right now. That's kind of how because I'm a natural stressor and worrier. So I developed that to kind of, back off a little bit from myself and give myself a break. It's not a perfect solution, but that works. Forgot to mention one thing to you, and then I know we're going to part here, but the pink on the Heartlanders jersey is present. There's the pink wild prairie rose, which has, like the pollen in the middle, which is in sunrise yellow, and it's outlined like a sharp sun. And the reason for that is the sun rising over the heartland, and then in the middle of the wild prairie rose. And then the wild prairie rose is the state flower. We're the first team at the ECHL, AHL, NHL level to have pink incorporated as one of our sort of primary 2 logos and colors. No, teams do pink in the rink jerseys all the time, obviously, but to have it as a consistent mark is different. So anyway, that's something for, people to look out for. And it looks really good on the jersey. The pink stands out and looks excellent on the jersey, especially on those white jerseys. I haven't seen them on the black jerseys yet, except for a passing glance, but seeing them on the ice, you see it's not an overpowering pink, but it's enough pink that you're like, oh, like what's that? And our pink merchandise with the Wild Prairie Rose has sold better than the primary logo, which tells you, and guys are the ones buying it. Like the majority of men are buying it. You think, oh, like, the wife's buying something for the husband and it's a rose and like the men are choosing to buy it. I have a couple pink Heartlanders with the Wild Prairie Rose, and they're excellent shirts. You get asked about them like, oh, well, is that the new hockey team or what's that? So they stick out.
Well, I tell you what, we don't play Friday. I can't wait to watch. Have a great call. I know you will. Give my best to the former commissioner, Brian McKenna, and David Fine on a very busy week for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Tommy. Great
David Fine. Can't wait. This Friday, Iowa and Kansas City as we go around the ECHL.
If you're looking for a great night out with your friends or family or coworkers, get over to Allen and enjoy America's Pro Hockey. We're North Texas's team that won 4 championships over the last 9 years. Free parking, great seats, and a party that'll make you want to keep coming back again and again.
The Americans host the Wichita Thunder Saturday at 7:05 and on Sunday at 2:05. For tickets, go to theallenamericans.com.
Allen Americans Pro Hockey. Live in the red.